All right, good afternoon, everybody. We're going to get started here with our Zoom. We're joined by AutoZone Liberty Bowl Executive Director Steve Earhart, Iowa State Director of Athletics Jamie Pollard, and Iowa State Football Head Coach Matt Campbell. We'll get things started with Mr. Earhart.
Well, thank you, everybody, for being on board here. I know it's been a whirlwind weekend here, but we're so proud as the seventh oldest bowl game in America. This is our 65th edition of the bowl game, to be able to invite Iowa State to play in the AutoZone Liberty Bowl. I have fond memories of 6 years ago. Matt, you were on the sideline. It was 21-20. The crowd was roaring. It was a full sellout crowd, 57,000 plus, and what a great game. It had great ratings and a great thing. And one of my fondest memories is all the Iowa State fans, 2 hours after the game, were still at party, and they were cleaning up everything. The best group of fans we've ever had. So we're so proud to give an official invite to Jamie Pollard, the athletics director at Iowa State, and to Coach Matt Campbell to play on December 29th, 2:30 kickoff on ESPN here in the 65th annual AutoZone Liberty Bowl game. So Jamie and Matt, this is your official invitation.
Well, Steve, thank you very much. We're very excited. As you mentioned, it's a short drive down the interstate for all the great Cyclone fans, and we look forward to representing extremely well and getting to play, in an awesome environment. And I know for our young men and our coaches, this is a big opportunity and a great chance to extend the season and get to play another game. And we look forward to having a great week. Our fans will populate on Beale Street like none other. And we look forward to the Beale Street Parade on Thursday and all the festivities associated with the game. Turn it over to Matt.
Yeah, Steve, I would just say on behalf of myself, our program, and certainly our staff and our kids, we couldn't be more grateful to be a part of this great bowl game. As I just got done talking to our leadership group, one of the absolute great experiences in bowl season that we've ever had is being a part of the Liberty Bowl. And so it's a great honor for myself, our program, to be able to be back. Certainly have the utmost respect for Memphis and their program and the season that they've had, and know it'll be not only a great football environment, but certainly a great challenge as well. And it should be a great football game.
Well, we very much appreciate that, and the opponent, it will be the same opponent that we had 6 years ago. It just worked out serendipitously that 21-20 game, we can keep it going. The University of Memphis finished with a 9-3 record and explosive offense, and so we look forward to you playing. And then, Jamie, I know we've got a lot of media on the line, but last year you gave a warning to the people of Memphis to have a certain kind of beer on tap, and they ran out. So would you please repeat what we need to have ready for the Iowa State group when you come down?
Well, our fans will be there in full support, and we'll take over hopefully the ballpark for the pep rally, and then take over Beale Street. And my mom told me a long time ago, you eat and drink what's served. So we'll be a great visitor to the city of Memphis, and our fans will. We don't need any call outs for any particular. We're good with whatever Memphis is serving, especially those ribs.
Okay. Well, okay. I wasn't trying to trap anybody, but I do remember that there was a particular brand. So it's okay if you would like to mention a particular brand, but I appreciate that you're being very professional about that. But, we look forward so much. I know your team is, the advanced team is flying into Memphis tonight, I believe, and will be setting everything up. The Grand Hotel of the South, the Peabody Hotel, will be the headquarters for Iowa State, which is, a 5-star hotel, one of the finest hotels in the country. So your team, your fans, your official party will be staying at the fabulous Peabody Hotel. They're looking very much forward to hosting you when you come down. So with that, we certainly, I know Coach has got a team meeting coming up relatively shortly, but I think it's okay if we open the floor to if there's some media questions for any of us on board here today.
Yes, if you have any questions, please raise your hand and I will call on you for any questions. Go ahead, Jonah.
Thanks. For Coach Campbell, just going back to that game in 2017, what do you remember from that? And is there anything that you take from that into this game?
Oh, I just think the two things probably stand out the most. One of the great game day environments that I know I've been a part of in terms of college football and certainly bowl game. I thought the crowd, the energy was nothing short of exceptional. And then, obviously a really hard fought game. You're talking about two really at that time up and coming programs, and you've certainly seen what Memphis has continued to do under Coach Silverfield. And, I think our football team and program just continue to grow forward. So it's got all the makings of a great football game for sure.
Randy Peterson.
Hey, Matt, how much did last season serve as a motivator for this season? And what does a bowl game, reaching the bowl game this year, show about your program and show about the program going forward?
Yeah, I think last year certainly it's like the good saying, you never want to waste a good failure. And I feel like the humility of everybody involved of where did you lose some of the inches, where did you not make the gains that you wanted to make. And I think anytime you don't reach your full potential, it certainly sprints you back to the drawing board of trying to close the gaps to get yourself back to where you want to be. And I think it certainly was a great motivator. I think anytime you don't reach the potential you feel like you had the ability to reach, especially if you want to be great, it motivates you. And our kids, our staff, everybody involved, went back to work. And I think our alignment and the unity was really big for us. And obviously the way we played this football season, and I know we've talked about it, Randy, a couple of times. I think for this team, with the adversity that it faced, really almost every step of the way, the ability to not only respond to it, but grow and get better and make the strides we've been able to make is really exciting. And I think that's why it's so exciting to be a part of this conversation today and playing a bowl game of this magnitude, and then have 20 odd days to really be together and continue to grow and get better as a football team and program. I think it's all huge for us.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
WMC Action News 5.
Hey, Matt, is there a funny kind of deja vu moment when these talks kind of pick up steam and you realize you guys might run this thing back again 6 years later?
Yeah, I think everybody on our staff, I think there was maybe the best food we've ever had was in Memphis. So I think everybody's fired up about that. If there's anything funny or rewarding, I think everybody's fired up to be back a part of that for sure.
Mark Freud.
You kind of touched on how different a place your program was in the last time you were there. In what ways do you think this experience might be different for you 6 years later?
Yeah, maybe different and maybe in some ways similar. I think, Mark, you were kind of at a time where you were coming off a 16 season that was, year one, but man, kind of laying the foundation of the future. And probably in a lot of ways, this year reminded you a lot of 17 in some way, shape, and form. A lot of adversity, a lot of young guys standing up, and also a really special senior class kind of drawing a line in the stand. So maybe as many ways as it was different, there are a lot of parallels to this Iowa State team, and certainly the excitement of where our football program is and certainly has the ability to go.
Jeff Dubroff.
Hey, Coach. When you look at this bowl game opportunity and you see the opportunity to go play in this game, but how much value is there in the practices that you're going to have coming up, especially for the young players on this team? So many young true freshmen to put on this team. Where do you see the value in getting these extra reps over the next few weeks?
Oh, yeah, I feel like it's invaluable. I mean, to me, the only way to really get better at football is to practice football. And, one of the great things about, especially, even selfishly, the game being on the 29th is it just gives us a lot more time to really grow forward. And, this group hasn't wasted an opportunity to get better. And my guess is the leadership of this team and really the energy of our young players allow us to get through finals and really put some time and effort to continue to get better at the sport of football. So, as a head football coach, it's really exciting for me. And as young as we are, I think we can really take great advantage of it.
Thank you.
Alec Bussey.
Hi, I don't know if I can ask Jamie Pollard a question, but if I can, am I able to?
Yes.
Cool. I just wanted to ask, like, from your perspective as an athletic director, what it was like for you to kind of see Coach Campbell lead this program out of a tough time in the spring to get back on a positive track where you guys were for so many years.
Well, I think it's validation for what I know Coach Campbell and his staff and our players do on a daily basis. Last year, I think what a lot of people maybe forget is, one of the great benefits of having that awesome, run several years ago is those young men, those seniors got an extra year. And so that meant a lot of the young kids didn't get into didn't play as soon as maybe all of us remembered some of the other kids playing. So there was a group of young men on that team last year that put in the work that, they took some lumps, but we were close in all those games. And so you knew it was there. And they knew, the coaches knew it was there. And so to me, this year is validation of what Coach Campbell does on a daily basis. I mean, there was no magic. It's just doing what we do. And now you're seeing these kids, getting rewarded, and the coaches getting rewarded for their hard work.
Wes Pruitt, 4-Star Sports Media.
Coach Campbell, when you look at this Memphis football program, it's a program that's very, very good inside Liberty Bowl Memorial Stadium, or now Simmons Bank. What is it about this program that's going to be a challenge for Iowa State?
Well, I think it's unique anytime that you play a team with the ability and certainly the success of Memphis. And not only do you play them in the bowl game, but do you play them at their home stadium, right? And so, I just think that it's certainly a unique challenge in a bowl game. And again, you've watched the growth under Coach Silverfield. I think he's done a great job. I got a lot of respect for Ryan and certainly what he's about. And man, you watch so many of their games. The type of team, the type of explosion they have on offense, honestly, the type of defensive players they have on the defensive side, and really how they played on special teams. So, you're getting a complete football team. It'll be a great challenge for our Cyclones for sure.
If I can jump in there, Iowa State will be designated the home team. I know that, as Coach said, they play their games in what we think is our stadium, the Liberty Bowl Football Classic Stadium, but Iowa State will be listed on everywhere as the home team in this year's game.
Randy Peterson.
It's just some house cleaning stuff. Injuries, Malik Verdone, and I don't know who else possibly could it be injured, and is it too soon to know about opt-outs, or do you know anything about that yet?
Yeah, no, great question, Randy. I think the injury piece of it, Malik is really doing better. Obviously, the time off has been really positive for him. I think probably know exactly where he'll be here within the next 2 weeks, and probably be able to give you a more clear answer the closer we get. But at least I think doing really, really well. Opt-out wise, boy, I can't imagine it'll be much, if any. I think that's probably the most exciting thing about our team, and probably where we're at is, man, a lot of young guys, a lot of guys, I think, really fired up to be able to go play in a bowl game. And, the funny thing is, Randy, it feels like, man, so many of these guys in some way, shape, or form haven't been in a bowl game. So there's just a general excitement right now around the opportunity to go and kind of put a great finish to a great season.
Hey, Ryan, can I sneak another one in real quick before I jump on the Memphis Zoom? This is to Jamie. Jamie, what do you remember about the Memphis site visit back? You're going to have to refresh me on the years. When the Big 12 was exploring reorganization 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know which one it was, but anyway, that situation, I think you know what I'm referring to.
Well, Memphis has got, rabid fans. They support their team. That's what makes playing in this game not only a challenge, but also makes it exciting. And I think it'll make for a great game day environment on that Friday. I remember back in 2017, besides Alan Lazard being the MVP and winning the game, what I remember is a sold out crowd that just was very vibrant all day long. I mean, the parade on Thursday, at least the day before the game, it'll be Thursday this year. But everything leading into the game on Friday. I mean, what they do pregame with your big I don't know what you call it, but the tailgate bash, where everybody's got the indoor accommodations and the live music and all you can eat and drink. And it just creates a vibrant game day. And the Memphis folks really support it, and they're a program that, they want to be, quote, where we are in terms of Power 5, Power 4. And so they're going to be motivated to play us too, and so that's what makes this game really special. And I really look forward to that kind of environment on game day.
Were you on the site visit when Memphis was being looked at, vetted, whatever the word is?
No, I was not.
Okay, never mind then.
All right, we're going to take our last two questions here. Jonah Dillon, go ahead.
Thanks. I've just got one for Steve. I'm wondering if you can kind of take us through your committee's discussions with choosing Memphis ahead of some of the other AAC teams.
Well, we have contracts with 3 conferences, the SEC, the Big 12, and the American. And so each year we've had a variety of teams, and the Big 12 has done a terrific job the last several years. Last year, of course, we had Kansas. They played that triple overtime game against Arkansas. The year before that, Texas Tech was here, played against Mississippi State. And then we had West Virginia. During the pandemic time, Kansas State was here when we had Navy out of the American Conference. And of course, 6 years ago when we had the great matchup that we talked about, Iowa State and Memphis. So, we're really blessed to have 3-way arrangements there. And so as we worked it through, and there's a lot of really good teams, as Coach, as Matt knows, and there's some good teams. So we had some tough decision. You had West Virginia out there at 8-4, Kansas State, of course, when you beat them in the snow game, and that kind of took care of that. Kansas, we had them last year, and of course we get calls from basically, I don't want to say, but several other teams inside the Big 12 that very much wanted to be here. But I want to give credit to your athletics director, Jamie Pollard, who he reached out to us some time ago. And, he's a persuasive kind of guy, and he represents Iowa State better than any other athletic director in the country. And I say that he's one of the most respected athletic directors in the country. And he had a lot to do with that by talking about the things he just mentioned, the enthusiasm of the Iowa State folks, the development of the program. He kind of educated me about your team, Matt, about the young team it was. And then when I watched carefully, we were trying to fly up to your game there at Kansas State, but the snow knocked us out. But I don't know how you got your guys, Matt, to run through that snow like nobody else's business. So yeah, we had to take a thorough look at that. But again, great credit to your entire program. We've had such a great relationship with you. And again, I wasn't kidding about 6 years ago. That was one of my fondest memories and one of the great games of the bowl season that year. So yeah, we're very excited to have you. And of course, as you guys know, we skipped over a couple other Big 12 teams that certainly wanted to be here.
Well, Steve, we appreciate that. And, as I've shared with you, what I also recall about 2017, it was the precursor to what, it was the starting blocks for where our program went over the next 3 to 4 years as well. And so I'm fired up for Coach Campbell and our young team that this is a great opportunity for us. It's not the conclusion of this season. It's actually the start of the future. And that's what I'm excited about. It's another opportunity to play football, and it's a chance to give these young kids a chance to, prepare for, the years to come.
Thank you, Jamie. And there is one thing, and this is what you alluded to there, Jamie. The AutoZone Libertyville has a great record of teams that play here. The following year or two, they have excellent seasons. Just look at Kansas last year. It was kind of their breakthrough season. They had an excellent season this year. I mean, Kirby Smart's first bowl game was here in Memphis, and then he's gone on to some great things. Urban Meyer's first bowl game ever was here. And so whether that's knock on wood here, whether we can keep that going, but generally a team that plays here and plays well in our game the next few years has some great success.
We'll go to Alec Bussey for our final question.
Thanks, Coach. One last question, kind of similar to what Randy asked. As far as the transfer portal goes, I know you guys have had a few kids declare on social media plans to do that. How do you kind of approach this week with maybe seeing more guys enter and still preparing for a bowl game?
Oh, that's what last week was about, Alex. We're done with that. So we're aligned. We're ready to rock and roll.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach.
All right, buddy.
All right, thanks everybody for joining us.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, Steve.
Thank
Steve.
you all.
Thanks,
We're looking
Harold.
forward to seeing your advanced team coming in tonight, tomorrow, working with the Peabody and the practice facilities. I know, Coach, your team had a great experience at the Civil Rights Museum 6 years ago. And so whatever events that we can help work out for your team and your fans, we'd be happy to do. So we look forward to seeing you here in a few weeks. Thank you.